Hello and welcome to another scrapbooking process video. This one is another pocket page from my Cuba trip album. This is going to be the second page, but before I get started with that, it occurred to me that I have this blank page that falls behind the little title insert that I have, and then my next spread, which is the arrivals that I did in my last process video, so check that one out if you missed it. But that page is a double page spread, which leaves me with this half page right here. So I have this beautiful paper from the Scraptastic Kit Club, from way back in the day, and I adore this paper. And one of the best ways to use paper that you really adore is on a page like this that's not going to have a whole lot of things to cover it up. So I think what I might do is put a little bit of journaling somewhere on this page, perhaps behind where the insert covers, and do just a little bit of journaling on these cards right here that says about how the trip was delayed a few times and that sort of thing. And I thought that that might be a nice way to use that first page. So now that that's all done, I'll just think on that and I'll do it another time. But now that that's all done, what I'd like to do is a page that's all about the beach. Now, we went to the beach on days 1, 2, 3, and 6 of our trip. And the other days we went to the pool because it was too windy to be at the beach. And so I want to capture all of these beautiful beach photos of my family having a good time. So as usual, my process is that I start with the photos and I'm spreading them around the page in a way that makes good storytelling sense, but I'm also trying to balance out all of those 4x6 photos and also all of the other photos, different shapes and sizes, and make sure that the blue is spread all around the page and whatnot. So I have these embellishments from Prima that came in a Hip Kit Club kit, and I want to use that on this page. It looks like it's a hibiscus, which is one of the flowers that was pretty prominent on the resort where we were, and so I want to use that. Now I did change out all of my 4x6 photos. They all had those bands on them, so I just printed them again, and I printed them to fill a 4x6 photo instead of having them fit to a 4x6 photo. Now this one was a panoramic photo that my husband took, and it's beautiful. There's like nobody on the beach, and so I wanted to include that at its proper aspect ratio, so I just kept that one from that I had already printed to fit. So fit will keep the aspect ratio that you took, and fill will fill up a 4x6 photo, and then you do have to kind of move it around before you print it. So I have these new paint pens. They're from Archer and Olive, and I got 2 sets of them. So I have them in 2 different thicknesses, and I have a variety of different colors. And I've decided I'm going to paint this chipboard. It's like a very thick chipboard laser cut flower. And at first I was thinking I would just make this all pink, and then I thought, well, I've got the markers, so I might as well make the leaves be green and the flower be pink. Like, I thought about making it all white, and then I thought that would be too, like, what am I trying to say here? It would make it look a little bit too washed out. And so I do have a really bright pink that I want to use. And I'm just going to use a variety of different greens. I haven't used these pens very much at all, so I'm just kind of playing around with it, getting a sense of how they cover chipboard here. And I'm also just getting a sense of what colors I have, how they look, and the 2 points. So I have 3 millimeter and I have 0.7 millimeter. And so I'm just kind of scribbling it on, and it does a good job of really covering this chipboard. I was afraid that too much of it would sink into the chipboard, but it's not. It's really sitting on top and giving me a nice painted look, which is what I was looking for. I was looking for opaque coverage, so I'm getting what I was looking for, so that's good. I started with all the greenery, and then because these pens layer really well together because they're paint pens, I decided to go in and add some detailing with a finer point, different shade of green. Really, you can't really see it. You can see it a little bit better here. I'm just painting these hearts a different shade of green than what the branches are. I don't know. I'm just kind of playing around. I'm not sure that I love it, but it's okay. And these are all like turquoisey colors of green because I'm limited to the colors that I have. I don't have actual true green other than that very, very light color. And I didn't want the green to be quite that light. So that's why I went with turquoise leaves. Now, this is one of my really dark pink colors. As you can see, I do have an even darker color there. But what I thought I'd do is I would do the outside of the flower in this really vibrant pink color, and then closer to the inside, I would use that really, really dark, it's almost a red. I think it actually is a red. So around where the center of the flower is where I'm going to save for that darker red color. And then they do have a blending. So at first I thought, let's do white in the center. I don't know what I was thinking because I don't like that at all. But sometimes you don't know you like something until you try it. So even though I don't like it, even as it's going there, I'm kind of like, oh, I don't like this. But I'm going to do it all the way just to see, because sometimes once it's all done, it actually looks better than you think. And then I thought maybe there is a blending marker that you can use to blend two colors together, but I don't really want to learn how to use that. So I thought I'd just do dots to blend the two colors together, and then more dots. And I'm not going to like this, and I'm going to do it over again, but that's okay. That's the beauty of these paint pens, is you can just paint over it. So that's how that looks, and it's okay. There's nothing wrong with it, but I'm just going to go back and color over all of it. Because I'm not loving it. It looked okay, but I wasn't loving it, so I'll color over it. I'm being pretty thorough because I don't want any little bits of the cardstock or the chipboard to show through. And I mean, maybe I should have left it at that because I do quite like that. Yeah, I quite like that. I probably should have left it like that, but I did go back and add some of that darker red afterwards. So I'm using my craft tacky glue from Simon Says Stamp. Oh, isn't that pretty? Oh, I like that. But I'm going to do this. I'm taking that darker red and I'm just putting it around the center of the flower. And this looks okay too. It's just two different looks, right? It looked really flat in the plain pink, and that was fine. But what I decided to do was add some darker red, and I'm actually having the darker red kind of creep up the lines that go to the petals, just kind of feathering it out with brush strokes. And then I'm going to also add a couple of dots at the end of each brush stroke just to make it kind of gradually go into pink. And I'll hold that up so that you can see it there. Yeah, so it just looks a little bit more detailed. I like that too. They both look good. So I'm drawing from my summer themed products for this page. The last page I drew mostly from my travel themed page or stash. But I've got this pool stash here, and so I want to make sure that I'm pulling ocean themed items, even though most of this stuff is very pool themed. There is some overlap. And then I have this photo play. It's called Summer Daydreams collection, and there are lots of really great beachy items in this collection. So I have the paper and I have some of the embellishments. I have the die cuts and the chipboard pieces. I'm going to cut out a few of these cards. These are 3x4 inch cut aparts that will make good inserts and cards and whatnot. I took the flip-flops and I took that beach one that says unplug on it. And I'll also take the let the sun shine in, it says. I thought that would balance nicely with the flip-flop one. So now that my photos are all spread around the layout, what I want to do is come back and add some cards. Usually this is my second phase, but for some reason I did one of the cards first. Usually before I do any cards, I will make sure that each photo has a little background to sit on. And so these beautiful pattern papers, they have such a tropical feel to them. So I'm cutting them down so that I'm getting both 4x6s and 3x4s out of them. And it's so easy to take a 12x12 sheet of paper and just cut it at the 4-inch mark. And then you can get a 4x6 and 2 3x4s out of that, or 2 4x6s, or 4 3x4s. So you can, that's the beauty of working with this size, is it's so flexible. I'll take this fish paper too. It's really neat, and I like I like how bold it is. Love the navy blue accents on this collection. So I need something for right here behind my beer. And I thought I might want to use this wave paper, which also has that beautiful navy blue that I love so much. And then I noticed actually the back side is yellow, and I like that better. I'm trying to balance the yellow on this page with the blues, and there's so much beige that has a bit of a yellowy feel to it in the sand as well. So I also have these are from the Hip Kit Club. They are like clear stickers that look like swashes of watercolor. And I thought they would have a really beautiful watery feel. And then I also pulled out these stickers that are in my summer stash as well. Just kind of taking it all in. There are so many embellishing options here with I have so much summer stash. I don't do a whole lot of themed summery type of pages, so a lot of this stuff has been in my stash for a long time. I've gotten it from various kits along the way. I really like this little flip-flop border. And my thought was that I might put it on that card, but I don't like it there as much. I'm going to put it over on this card. So I'm trying to decide where to cut it so that I still have some left to use someplace else. So what I thought I'd do at first is cut out the flip-flops that would be underneath of where the photo is going to go, so that I could use them someplace else. And then I thought maybe I'll actually put them right over the photo so that the banner continues. And yeah, I'm changing my mind too much. So I did a little bit of hacking of the banner, and now it ends too soon. It doesn't go all the way across anymore. So now I have to piece this back together again. I thought about just piecing an empty little bit of the banner, and then I thought, no, I'll put the flip-flop on there too. So there, I've pieced it back together again. All of that was kind of for nothing because I could have just kept it intact and layered it over top of the photo on the card, but I didn't know I was going to do that until it was done. Now I have this sticker here that says family vacay, and I almost put it there, and then I decided it really, the size of it fits better on this other photo, so I put it there. And now I'm going to take this sunny, and that does a really nice job of filling up all of that empty space on the pattern paper there. I put it on a little crooked, so that's why I'm fixing it there and putting it down a little bit more carefully. And now that card is pretty much done. I like that one that says, "This is my happy place," and I like the gold on it, so I'm going to try to make that show up on this page somewhere, but it's not going to make the cut. So I have these travel themed little 3x4 cards that I'm keeping out throughout the course of this whole project. And here's something I'm going to do that I'm not going to like. So I'm putting this on there, but I put it on crooked. And I wish I didn't. It says, what does it say? It says this right here, because they were playing in the waves and I like it there. It's just, it's annoying me that you can see that it's a circle. I wish it looked like it was typed right on the page. I'm going to put another one of these right here. It says Better Together on my shoulder because it's a photo of Scott and I. It's just like a little tiny detail, and I like it better there than I like it in the wave. So I will end up reprinting that photo because I really don't like that there. But for now, let's do this page. Or I mean this card. Oh, let's put this here. That's a little sticker that says... Oh, right. I don't know what it says. It says this day was something. And the reason I don't know what it says is because it's not there anymore, because I'm going to redo that whole card. I like that sticker there because it brings a pop of that raspberry red color, but it's not going to stay. So this is a sticker that says, I need vitamin C, and I'm matting it on this piece of wave paper, and then that is going to be a mat on that tropical hibiscus paper. But I want to mat the sticker. I'm doing multiple mattings on this page because it gives a little bit of structure, and it also gives some separation. Like when you're combining elements, sometimes it has a real busy feel to it, and it almost feels like things crowd in on one another. And so I find that matting really helps give some of your patterns a little bit of space to breathe, and it also gives some structure to a page that might otherwise feel kind of like a little bit too random. So I'm just going to put this photo here so that it completely covers the paper that it's on, and then I'll mat. This is basically a bunch of mats here that end in the I need vitamin C. I really want to use this pineapple because it's so tropical, and it looks like a variegated, like it looks like it's gold foil, but it's not. It's just printed to look like it's gold foil and like it's reflecting or something. So I was going to mat that pineapple on the sun paper, but I felt like it needed a little bit more definition. Those two were too similar. So let's add a really thin navy blue border here. It will pick up on the navy blue border elsewhere on the page that I just did. And it just gives a bit of further definition between that pineapple image and the paper that it's on. I want to write chin-ups so that it's clear what she's doing here. Both her and Scott were doing chin-ups. So this is a sticker sheet that came in the Photo Play collection, the Summer Dreaming collection that I have. So I'm liking how this is all coming together. Now, well, I was liking how all of this is coming together, but this is going to be a journey. Ugh, this card is going to cause me some grief, but let's just see how this goes. I include my full process, so even though this card is not going to make it to the page, I thought I would share with you my thought process behind this. So I'm using more of those letter stickers. I really like it. It looks like they're made from the water of a pool, and so I think that that's a pretty cool idea. And what I thought I would do is actually mat them on blue cardstock, on that same navy blue cardstock that's come up in other places on the page, and cut them out so that they look like they're hand cut. Well, because they will be hand cut. I mean, the other thing I could have done is run them through my brother's scan and cut, and then they would have had more of a perfect look to them. But that wasn't really the problem with what I didn't like about this. So anyhow, they're going to have like a hand cut look, which I quite like that. And especially for the vibe that I was going for with this card, I wanted it to have like a almost like an old school scrapbooky look with these kind of like with the bathing suit and the beach bag and the umbrella. Um, it has a bit of a, I don't know, I guess old school scrapbooking is the only way that I can really describe it. And I like that. I like to have that kind of design on my pages every once in a while. Not all of my pages have that look, but I was really wanting to do it here. So because this doesn't show up on my actual page, I'm going to speed this up even more than usual. It's this more of the same, just cutting out all of these shapes so that there's a slight blue border around each of them. And the reason I'm doing this is because that helps that those blue letters stand out from the page a little bit. Otherwise, they're going to blend in with that polka dotted background. This is a real fun look. And I can't say I don't like this, but once it was on the page, it just wasn't feeling like it went with everything else that was on the page. Yeah, like I think that that's a fun card. There's nothing wrong with that card, but at the end, you'll see what I mean when I make my decision. I do feel like this card needs a little something else. So I had this sticker that says vacation time. So I trimmed that down and put it on it, just offset a little bit. Moving the order around a little bit, but I want to include this photo is not so much a photo. A lot of these ones I printed up not so much because I wanted the memory of what my feet looked like there, but more so that I could use it as like a personalized journaling opportunity because I knew that the sky and the sand would provide some space for me to put some lines and do some journaling. So this time when I was traveling, I don't always do this. I haven't done this in the past, but this time I was pretty mindful that I took a lot of like atmospheric type of shots that I could use in creative ways, not just to say, here's a photo from my trip, but in this way, for example, and a few other ways as well. So I used my hot off the press journaling template there, and I'm just writing, the words I'm writing are, we spent days 1, 2, 3, and 6 on the beach, swimming, reading, and relaxing in the sun. And so there we go. I like the idea of journaling on a photo like that is specific to our trip. Those are my feet and my lounge chair that I sat on. Oops, see what I did there? I wanted a little border, but I didn't want to have to mat it. So I just trimmed it down and restuck the photo so that only the little white border was showing at the bottom. And that allows me to have a bit of that patterned fish paper around all the edges of that photo instead of having the photo fill up all of the page. Then I just stuck that relax sticker on and that one is done. But yeah, I like the idea of having my own photos as my journaling pieces. So this is bugging me. It's already, even before the page is done, it's already feeling as if it's not really blending in. So I keep kind of going back to it and moving some things around, hoping that it'll look better, but I'm going to end up replacing it. Or, well, modifying it. I'll use some of the elements from it, but most of it is going to go. I keep pulling out different embellishments just to see if there are opportunities to use some of my stash on these pages. Also checking to see if either of those stamp sets have anything relevant on them. So what will I do here? I wasn't liking that card, that hibiscus patterned card. It was feeling like it was a little bit too much for a filler card. So I think I'm going to have to do something different for my filler card. And I think I might do some journaling or something in that spot. So I think I'm kind of leaving it for now. So this is a stamp set that has a phrase on it. It says, "I'll be here all day." And I think I was wanting to put that on the one about that has my book. So I stamped it onto vellum. I used Stays On for that, so I'm just cleaning up my stamp and my block. And that was from, well, it looks like it was from an Everyday Explorers and Studio Calico collab stamp set from Studio Calico. And while I had that out, I saw this one that says Beach Bound, and I thought I would put that on this photo of Scott heading to the beach to get us seats early in the morning. And I used my Misty tool because I had a feeling I might have to stamp a couple times to get that one to show up clearly. And so I used my VersaFine ink for that. That's fine for photos. I'm just looking to see if there are any other of these beach themed stamps that might work, but I'm not finding any places to use them right now. So I'll put my stamps away and my Misty tool as well. Ooh, I thought maybe adding this sun might make me like this better, but it doesn't. It just doesn't feel like it goes. Sun-Kissed. It's a chipboard sticker from one of the collections. This seems to have dried by now. I mean, Stays On dries super fast. I'm going to layer it with the photo. So I'll just put some glue along the top of it. Wipe the extra glue off of my mat so my mat doesn't get too messy. And then I will stick the photo to the vellum, and then I'll stick the photo and vellum onto the card, and voila, we're done. I like it when a card comes together quickly and easily like that. They don't always work that way. So I'm still looking for a card that I can do some journaling on over here in this empty spot. And I went with this note card. Ooh, but I like this. This says long days, slow nights, warm sun, cold drinks, sand and water, salt and smiles. So I thought that was a little bit more thematically related to my stories than the one that was there. So I'll take that. And I thought about combining these two cards here by doing my journaling here. It says, well, I don't know what it says because it doesn't end up making it onto my page. You might be able to read there. It says, on Friday it was warm. Oh yeah, this was my weird journaling that said on Friday it was warm and we did this. On Saturday it was this and we did this. It was like too, I don't know, predictable or boring, or it almost read like a first grade reader, like we went to the beach, we had fun, it was sunny and warm, it was too windy, it was too simplistic. It was not written in the same voice that I usually speak in. But that's not why I didn't go with it. So there's that card. And I was thinking maybe I really wanted to use this and that. So I was thinking maybe I'll use like the back side of it and layer it like that. And then I can't remember if I was, yeah, now I'm writing day 1, and I'm kind of writing off the top of my head. And I'm realizing I'm not going to have enough space to write what I want and still have this and that up there. So I thought maybe I can truncate what I'm writing, like kind of try to make it smaller. And then I thought, no, I'm just going to eventually, I'm going to decide that I want to use this. So this is what I wrote. And this was more off the top of my head, whereas the other one was journaling that I had on my computer. So it says, it was calm on day 1, but quite windy on day 2 to 5. We played in the big waves on days 2 to 3 and relaxed and read on the beach. On day 2, we sat close to Fee and Brian and chatted with them, and Kaner when he visited and FaceTimed with Kaylor. So I had certain things that I wanted to make sure that I said on certain days, and regarding the beach, I wanted to say that. I also have some extra journaling that's going to fit between these pages in an insert, and so it was a little bit tricky for me to plan that journaling and also what else I was going to say. That wouldn't be just a repetition of that journaling. And that journaling I haven't even done yet. So it's all typed out on the computer. I just haven't figured out how I want to print it out and use it as an insert. So here's this blue card that I already used for something else, for matting something. I'm writing, due to shortages, we couldn't get Cristal beer. We had to drink imported beer. So Cristal is the beer that they make there in Cuba, but they can't make it anymore because they don't have the supplies. So the hotel was giving everybody imported beer in their little fridges. So now I'm going to do my best to write straight without the use of my journaling template, and I didn't do a bad job. I put here, Scott went out to get us spots on the beach or by the pool each morning. And that's just a picture of him doing that. So that's just a little chipboard sticker that I thought the colors worked really well with that message, but I'm going to take that away because I don't really like it. It's cluttering too much. And now this is the phase at which I decide I want to add some extra red, but that was too much on that really beautiful sandy beach card. So instead, I went with this painted white chipboard sun. It's from Ellie Edwards, and I love it. There's too much glue on my embellishment, which is what I was trying to show you there. So I just took a tissue and dabbed it off, and then there was enough glue, and it worked perfectly. I just felt like that card needed something else, and so that sun is a nice subtle thing to add to it without taking away from the beauty and quiet of that card. So I just added a piece of washi tape there, and then I'll add this little button there. These are from the Hip Kit Club. I liked the color of it. I just wanted a splash of color over there. Oh, I really love these rubber pieces, and I kind of feel like this might be a nice piece to be on, like connected to the outside of the page protector so that it spans across the two cards, like in between them. So I have these new X-Acto knives. They don't have covers, which I don't like about them. So I have to keep them in the case so that they're safe and so that I'm safe. And so I'm just cutting with this X-Acto knife. It's pretty sharp, so it's actually pretty easy work. Cutting off the paperclip part of this rubber piece so that I just have the splash of water. And I have it there so that it looks like it's splashing out of the heart for some reason. I don't know. Just cutting off the edge of that sticker. I had wrapped it around, but it wasn't sticking, so I just cut it off. And as I look at this page, I'm thinking there's something wrong here. This is too, I don't know, it's not pulled together. It feels kind of like too random. I'm not loving this card that I just had my hand on. So what I did was I reprinted that photo, and there it is. Through the magic of video editing, it looks like it was just there all along, but it wasn't. I thought about putting another sticker in that wave because I really did like the word, but it had to be those words. So that letter sticker was already used, so I can't really do that anymore. So that I like that kind of looks a little bit more like, I guess there's too much going on. And so that helps it look a little bit more calm there. Your eye has more of a resting place, I guess. And so what I'm deciding here is that other card that says beach days is just not working for the page, and that might be the thing that's making it look too busy, is that card itself is quite busy with the polka dots and all the stickers and the cutout letters. So what I decided to do was I just took a very faint grid card from Studio Calico. As it looks from the distance like it's just plain white, but it's actually it almost looks like a drafting grid card, like a blueprinty type of grid. And I'm using these navy blue thickers. I'm sorry, they're actually not thickers. They're Color Vibe by Simple Stories, but they're very similar to thickers. And I'm just using my thicker alignment tool to make beach days be all lined up and even, as you can see. And I used one of those watercolor stickers from the Hip Kit Club. And this looks really beachy and kind of like more of the vibe of what I was looking for. I will take the beach bag and the umbrella just because I liked the fun feeling that the other card has. So those two embellishments give it the fun look, but the watercolor and the very plain block letters of beach days really pulls it together, like it makes it look more calm. And I thought putting that fun in the bottom corner, once I rearranged those two beach scenes so that the one with the waves was up at the top and the one with the flower chipboard on it was at the bottom. Now that felt like it was a little bit too empty, so I'm putting the word fun. This is a acrylic embellishment from the Scraptastic Kit Club from many years ago. It's been in my stash. I have one that says fun and one that says sun, and I'm sure you were supposed to use them together because they're the same font and say fun in the sun, but I'm using them separately. So I do have a photo of this layout at the end. Before I share the photo, just a quick shout out to my Patreon supporters. These folks help make this channel happen, so a big thanks to all of them. So here's how this page turned out. I really like the last minute changes that I made to this page. I think it just feels more calm, more relaxing, which is what the experience at the beach actually was for us. So thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate you checking out all of these videos. Leave me a comment if you have anything to say, any questions or comments, and I'll be back with more of my Cuba trip. Take care and have a great scrappy week.